Hi guys. So I wanted to tell you about a crazy, intense dream I had about Trump. And it was crazy, intense, energetic. Probably the most intense, energetic dream I've ever had. And I've had crazy, intense, energetic dreams. So I'll try to explain. It was a lucid dream. So I'm conscious that I'm dreaming. And it's one of those, and I've explained before on my channel, where I'm sort of shown a card. And I swear my dreams now communicate to me more and more with cards, because it's like I'm practicing this during the day, and therefore that's the language they know how to communicate. It's so interesting. And I encourage everyone, I'm sure a lot of you or most of you are readers, but I just find it to be sort of a language that your subconscious can communicate better in dream time. At least for me, I have just found it to be so interesting. And I've also said that a lot of times when I read during the day, at night I will have a card shown to me, and I'll sort of get a bigger story on that, get more clarity or just a deeper understanding. Maybe it just works if you start the wheels turning, they can continue to turn in your dream time. Anyway, that day before the dream, I had recorded my last video, which was Letitia James wondering what's coming for Trump, right? What does she have? Is it coming? When? How? But then another thing that's happening is that this impeachment trial is about to start. But I'll tell you that what happened in that dream was so much bigger than either of these things. But I still think it's possible, because in my Letitia dream, I did talk a lot about, I said Letitia dream, but I meant Letitia reading. How we all want accountability to be coming for Trump. So I almost think that's what the dream was showing me. So the card that was sort of shown to me in this lucid dream place that is a sort of an in-between place was, I believe it was the Emperor card. And I say I believe because it was really kind of just like a silhouette of an emperor on a throne, okay? It was giant. And I knew it was representing Trump. I forgot to add that this Emperor card was actually in my Letitia reading earlier that day. It was front and center at the heart of the reading, which I said at the time made perfect sense because I was reading on Trump, and there he was. So besides just knowing the figure in the dream was Trump, and I think most people would have interpreted it the same way, there was the additional validation that earlier in the day, the Emperor card was representing Trump for me. And what was coming, and it wasn't like a dream where I'm doing a lot of things. It's just that I'm seeing this and I'm feeling all this energy, and it goes on for hours. And again, I always get this write it down. I'll show you some of my notes. It was wild, you guys. It's also funny because the main message is actually, it's way too reminiscent of that horrible conspiracy theory cult that I'm not going to bring up, but they like to say this one phrase. And you can see my first note. Storm coming, Trump. But I made sure to say upon Trump. This time strong, big, major, overpowering, Trump throne, earthquake, fire, hurricane energy at once coming for him. And yes, I'm writing in the dark, so my handwriting is terrible. It was the darkest, thickest, most intense, powerful energy. And it was so I was able to see this figure on a throne, this dark figure, but I was also able at the same time to sort of go into the figure and experience that which is coming to him. But it wasn't hurtful to me or harmful or scary to me. It was more like the feeling you get when you look out the window and you see a huge storm coming. But it was beyond any storm we've ever experienced. Although I did wonder, could this be an actual storm that's happening, growing, building. I believe it's an energetic storm. And I believe that it is everything he's put out to the world has collected around him, and it's like this in like big black, I want to say like clouds, but it's really just like energy. And it's like all coming back at him. I don't know why it hasn't before and why it has had to collect over out here, but in the dream, it's like it's coming for him now, okay? And I thought like, well, the things like, let's say like Letitia James were to successfully convict him for crimes, or let's say the Senate were to convict him, that's nothing compared to what is coming according to that dream. And like I said, it wasn't like a dream where I woke up and wrote it down. It was going on for what seemed like hours. And I did have little side dreams. And I'll tell you the side dream I had. It was like I'd have little side dreams and then I would like sort of come back to this place. Storm so bad, felt in body, outside building. So in this little side dream, I'm watching the storm from inside like a brick building. And it was like a school for some reason. One of the old brick schools. I remember looking out and seeing the storm coming and going, oh yeah, I wrote this down on my notebook that this storm was coming. And oh my gosh, now it's here. And wow, it really is, so huge. And it was so big that I felt like I had to like drop to the floor, like, or I was gonna be swept away. Felt in my body, wow. Energy so powerful. Felt by all. Oh, and then I'll get to this other reference in a minute. But so I'm in the dream and, oh yeah, so I'm in that hallway and I felt like, like you've seen images of hurricanes or tornadoes when the like cars start flying and the cows start flying, and I felt like, and so that started to happen to me, like I was gonna start being blown away even though I was inside. And I was like, I've never had a storm be so bad that it's happening inside also. But like I was safe. Maybe that was the brick school reference, because with the bricks made me feel like I was in a very safe structure. And then the school, this must all be a learning experience for us to watch this storm that's coming or brewing. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, and the only thing I could think of that would like had the magnitude that I'd seen in like movies was like Raiders of the Lost Ark, that last scene where, and also the experience of being in the dream and being able to watch and feel this energy without being hurt by it. It reminded me of like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when like some people's faces are melting and their heads are exploding. And, but you're feeling the energy like Indiana Jones or, his friends, but you're not getting hurt by it. So like that was kind of how it felt. But like, I felt like that scene really captured the magnitude of what to me felt like was coming for Trump. And also I want to say, like, it didn't feel like there was anything that was like, any figure or being that was doing this like to him. It was 100% his energy that he had put out, collected and coming back to him. So it was like completely his own karma. And that I was thinking like I should read on the dream, but I don't even think I need to, because I know what it is. His own karma is coming back for him, and it's going to be major. And I did wonder, could it be like an actual storm? Because I have had experiences of what felt to me like I travel astrally to like a storm that's happening, say in Florida. There was a storm, I think in the last 5 years, it was like the biggest storm Florida had ever gotten or something. And I had like a moment laying in bed and I go, I'm right there, and then I come back and I was like, oh my God. And then the next day the storm came and it did get recorded as the biggest storm ever. So it sort of felt like that. But I don't think it is storm season right now. And I also, I mean, I asked my pendulum and it's like, no, it's not about a literal storm. It's what I thought. It's the karma energy coming back to him. And it was like wild, the feeling of it. You know, I thought about, it's interesting because you can see my notes here. I didn't realize because I kept having to turn the page and I'm writing over some other notes that I had written on another night and it's referring to that insurrection, right? And do you remember how they keep saying that people stormed the Capitol? And I just find that language interesting in relation to my dream, because it's like he caused that storm to happen, and like that storm is coming for him now. Oh, and another interesting and strange thing, and it's just interesting because of how I wrote the new dream over some things about the insurrection, just to explain. There's something really okay. The night before the insurrection, some of you might remember I had a dream, and in the dream I went down some stairs into a store, sort of like a convenience store, and like I think the going down the stairs was representing sort of going down into lower levels of energy. And in that store, I was like scared of the people. It was that MAGA energy, aggressive and uncomfortable, angry, that sort of thing. And so, and then a cop came in and shot someone. And I was hiding, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe someone just got shot in front of me, that sort of thing. Well, and I don't mean to say it's interesting, but that did happen the next day. And the other thing that was so strong in that dream was a terrible, terrible, terrible smell. I told you guys there was a terrible smell, but I didn't tell you what the smell was because it was like too gross. And it's just crazy because I just took the bad smell as a sort of maybe like when you're in the lower energies, that's a way of representing that lower energy. But it turns out in the days after, with the reporting on the insurrection, I think we all heard about some disgusting things that they did inside the Capitol. And I don't even want to say it, it's so gross, like the words are gross to say, but like they smeared some things on the walls of the building, and they also relieved themselves on the ground, okay? It's so disgusting, and that's what I smelled in my dream. And it's just interesting when I heard on the news that is something that actually happened, and I was like, oh my God, my dream. Just, I don't know why I'm sharing. It's just, I guess, one of those weird things to realize that specificity, as gross as it was, because I would have never been able to imagine something so gross would have been literal. I just thought that was kind of wild, and you know, I had thought of it because I was looking at these notes, and you know, maybe it all ties in, the fact that I wrote one dream over the other, that again tying into the idea that what he put out, what people put out, I don't know, it's coming back to him. That energy will come back to him one way or another, and it's like, it's coming. You know, it just makes sense. And you know, when I think, does that literally mean that we're gonna have some satisfaction in this impeachment trial? To be honest, and I'll read on it, but my pendulum says it's not gonna be a conviction for Trump in the Senate, which doesn't surprise me at all. I don't think anyone really expects that, but maybe the message is like, you know, we're looking for satisfaction from, say, SDNY or Congress, and it's just like, I can tell you based on that dream what is coming for him, not because anyone wants to, as a intent against him. It's his own stuff is coming back to him, whether or not we see it or not. And the magnitude of it is like the worst storm you can imagine. But in addition, there are earthquakes, there are fires, and there are volcanoes erupting. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. That's the energy of the dream. That's the energy of what was coming to him. And like for entertainment purposes only, you know, just my dream is not my wish or intent. It's just what I saw coming at him, and that it's completely and simply all of the energy that he has created, that he has peddled in, that he has manufactured, that he has produced, that he has spewed out, that he has built up. It's like he had managed to keep it at bay, but it is coming for him. And it's massive. Oh, and I wrote, like the karma energy of storming the Capitol. It's like hard for me to read. This is so sloppy. Sending that storm upon others comes back to him tenfold, times 10. So there you go. And I also got 22 again, which I wrote down. So in my last read, I got, with the Letitia stuff, I got a 2 and a 2. I don't know why I'm getting, so I don't know if that means 2022, because to me it felt like it's happening now. It's coming upon him now. But I don't know why I'm getting 22. Is February 22nd? Is that when this impeachment trial ends? But again, like I said, it doesn't feel like what's coming to him is going to be some logical thing from this, you know, from our system of trial and punishment, but more from a much bigger place and a much bigger circumstance and much just energetic. It's supernatural. I mean, it felt supernatural. Earthly conviction is nothing compared to what this was. But maybe we will, you know, I do think things happen in the astral that that then later, I don't know how much later, does express on the earth plane. I kind of think that's how it works. So we might, you know, really see a lot of the storm come upon him in the years to come. And if not, it's there. It's there. I felt it for hours. It felt like hours. And I was in and out of other dreams, coming back to it. It was just sort of there, like a figure on a throne with this circle of dark black energy coming at him, sort of just like I said, with the energy of the worst storm, with earthquakes and everything just coming at him. So very interesting. I had to share. Kind of wild. Curious if other readers or any, you know, of you guys having dreams like that. And I think it was really answering me or us for my channel, these questions we're asking and showing on the energetic level. Yes, there is there's karmic accountability for what he has put out. It will come back to him. And that's just how it goes. That's what he will be contending with on whether it expresses itself here or is just waiting for him. I don't know. But that's what I felt, so I just wanted to share that. Pretty wild and interesting, I thought. So that's all. I just wanted to share it. And I thank you for being there, for me to share stuff with, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.